Not quite. Eli Hinton back to the bottom, 6 to go.
Makes a mistake again. He missed the shift. He's going to spin to the inside turn. He's going to take the lead.
Eli Hinton just got used up there in the hairpin.
He's going to pick up a win after a long winless streak and visit victory lane. And the whole field just needs to get himself slowed down hot these curves. Up and over. There's that cannon running a tad wide. Great restart here for the 2 car, but also for the 48. He crosses him over. Down into turn 1. There goes the tail. Here comes the 20 alongside. The 13 car gets turned. He's going to spin in turn 2.
After a week of going left and right out in Monza, we return for race number 7 of the 2019 HostVenom Cup Series, and this time we go to the Tricky Triangle in Pocono, Pennsylvania. And tonight we're expecting to see some spectacular racing with a new low-power, high-downforce package, making this more like an IndyCar race than a stock car race. Who will prevail? Will it be Scott Eckrich again? Can Greg Evans break a little bit of a winless streak? Or can the 24 Thomas Bressi finally get on top of the victory lane podium after coming so close last week at Monza? Now, Finian, Pocono is an interesting racetrack. We might see some shifting potentially, but the downforce is going to be a new factor here tonight that we're not normally used to seeing here at this racetrack.
Yeah, indeed. It's really changed from the little we see in practice. It's really changed the way this track races, because these guys, pretty much like you said earlier, drives like an IndyCar track, and it's also the same with these cars at Indianapolis. So interesting to see that, but we're going to see guys pretty much driving in packs, drafting on one another down the straightaways.
One lap of qualifying here tonight, and Finian, the lap time's significantly slower than in the past. We used to get up to about 205 miles an hour on the front straightaway, down to about 180-ish now with the lowered power levels, down to about 550 horsepower. But there are a couple drivers out here, Finian, that are looking for their first win of the season. Norman Pelletier's 56 is one of them. I remember a couple weeks ago, Don Runkle Jr. stole a victory at Auto Club. We'll see if he can prevail in a very similar kind of style of racing than we saw a few weeks ago.
Yeah, indeed. This package has really changed the people that we expect to see at the front of the pack. And speaking of which, guys at the front of the pack, Scott Eckrich, after winning last week, he has 4 wins out of the 6 races, dominating this season.
Let's take a look at our point standings after last week's round number 6. And we'll skip ahead to the front here, Finian, and no surprise with what we're seeing there. Scott Eckrich, 4 wins, 4 top 5s, 4 top 10s out of 6 rounds. An impressive stat.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at there at second place, he's nearly an entire race ahead of Tim Silman in points already. Only 6 rounds, and just due to the amount of points he's earned from winning. You see Tim Silman, Drew Carroll, Thomas Bressi having great seasons so far.
And Bressi last week finished 2nd at Monza. We thought he could go out there and win. Wasn't able to get the job done, but maybe he can do so here tonight. Greg Evans, 8th in the standings. Who would have thought that after last season's winning 9 of 17 races or something crazy like that? Only 8th so far for him. Anthony DeBarro in 10th right now. We skip over to positions 10 through 20. Travis McQuistion really 11th. He's tied for 10th right now. Jeff Ward in 12th. Rick Thompson, another Rick McBride, is 14th in the standings, and Thomas George Finian. These are guys that we would have expected to see right at the top, but the competition level this year is so good.
Indeed, and it skipped over this stat, but he only has 2 top 10s this season. Can you imagine that? I don't think either of us expected that, or most of the people in this field expected that coming out of last season where he absolutely dominated. But again, the significantly increased amount of talent that has come over into this season from other leagues is incredible to see. The entire top 10 pretty much got shifted out for newer drivers, so it's incredible to see the different amount of drivers up at the front of the field.
Checkered flag is in the air, and Anthony DeBarro at the last second steals pole away from the 89 of Jeff Ward. And Scott Eckrich will start from position number 3, George 4th, Rich Jett in 5th in that number 77 car. Finian, I love how we grid here at Pocono, sideways down the pit straight. I'm expecting a good race night. 80 laps around here, 200 miles for the CJAutoPA 200. And Finian, we've seen some great racing so far this season. But these Cup cars, this has been a difficult transition for a lot of drivers to this new horsepower and downforce package. And I think tonight we might see a couple incidents here and there from people getting a little bit greedy.
people getting a little bit greedy, also people just trying to figure out how this package races, because again, this is probably one of the first time these guys are actually racing this package here at Pocono, other than being in practice and in smaller groups. So here they're going to be experiencing the full weight out of 30 cars, especially the guys in the back. So they're going to have to try to figure out how to deal with that while they're driving in the race.
And that 89 car just missed pole, that 89 at Jeff Ford. Tim Silliman, who's second in the standings, didn't light the world on fire at Monza 1 week ago, but maybe trying to get back on top of the podium this week. And again, Pocono, a 3-turn racetrack, a triangular-shaped racetrack, and every corner is different from the next, and they get progressively lower banked from turns 1 to turn 3. There's really no way to set up a car to drive great around here, so it's going to be a unique challenge that we haven't seen drivers take on yet this season.
Yeah, and you just saw Jeff Ford, who's, I believe, starting second. There you see DeBarro on pole. But I was just looking at his stats because I noticed he gained 12 positions in the last race, and I remember him being pretty fast. I'm looking at his finishes here. He either finishes really well or very badly, so I'll read them off. So starting at Daytona, finished 4th, right? Good start of the season. Kansas 40th, Bristol 37th, Auto Club 33rd, and then Atlanta 9th, and Monza GP finished 3rd. So he's been having a very up and down season, but if he finishes where he started or around where he starts tonight, he'll have a very good season. He's just outside the top 10 in points, and he's trying to get his way in.
Let's take a look at our starting lineup here tonight. On the front row, it's going to be Anthony DeBarro in the number 27 Toyota Camry, alongside, you're just talking about him, Jeff Ford in the number 89 Chevrolet Camaro.
Moving on back to row 2, Scott Eckridge, our current points leader in the 70 Chevy Camaro. Outside of him, Thomas George in the 9 Chevy Camaro is going to be starting in 4th.
Thomas George looking to rekindle some of that 2018 magic. Off back to row number 3, Rich Jett in the number 77 alongside Tim Silliman, second in the standings, 6th for the start of tonight's CJAutoPA 200.
Moving on back to 7th place, Zach Buchanan in I believe the first few Ford in this field, and then outside of him in the
Ford Fortune.
The 44 Tyler Hensing starting in 8th.
In 9th, Casey Shoes, number 52. Evan Adams in the number 59 car, a little bit slow rolling off the pits there, but there he is in that Castrol Ford Fusion. Brian Green, 11th. Brian Yazek, 12th. We'll let the rest of it scroll along the bottom of your screen. You see in the back there, the 00, the blue Toyota Camry. That is Don Rocco Jr., your Auto Club winner. Curious to see if he can rekindle some of that magic from him.
And I'm seeing a green car on the back there, and that is Greg Evans' car, and he's going to be starting what I imagine is probably 33rd, 34th, or like 35th, around that range.
Ways back.
He's got a long way to go up towards the front of the field here tonight.
Field rolling on the backstretch here at Pocono Raceway. Again,
field flying down there trying to catch the pace car.
Kind of a slow roll-off down the pit lane. We're already through the tunnel turn now. Again, tonight's CJAutoPA 200 is brought to you by CJAutoPA and HostVenom, and both those links to those sponsors you can find in the video description. We want to thank them for coming on board and helping us broadcast this season as we work towards the halfway point of the season. In just a couple races, we're going to go racing for 80 laps tonight. Again, 200 miles for tonight's feature race. Anthony Barrow's Coors Light number 27 Camry is going to be on the pole as the pace car rolls out of turn 4. And it's time to go racing here at the Tricky Triangle. Ace car is going to pull off the Ford FR500 Mustang down to pit lane, coming to the green. Green flag flies. We're racing at the Tricky Triangle.
Yeah, field's still coming out of turn 4, but turn 3, but everyone's lined up and we're ready to go. And you see these guys already starting to fan out 3 wide into turn 1.
You see Phil Clark popping down the line. There's a slow car down there. It's the gray and blue vehicle on the apron. I'm trying to see who that is. I think it's Brian Greenlee's number 38. But through turns 1 and 2, DeBarro out up front right now. He's got Scott Eckridge breathing down his neck, but now we're still 2 wide on the back straight. Look at this. There's Tim Silliman on the inside. You see Zach Buchanan poking his nose out. Then there's the number 90, or the 55, excuse me, of Brian Yazek, tucked right in front of Nick Cohen.
Ooh, some guys just smoked. I'm not sure what that was from, if it was contact or not. But so far, it looks like everyone's fine.
There's Zach Buchanan's number 40. Those Project 2 cars didn't run quite as well at Monza as they were expecting. And of course, Mitch Welker out early last week, and that was not what they needed to have a good points day. So Welker not here tonight, but Buchanan tried. We see, is that Greg Evans kicking out wide on the exit at turn number 3?
Up, and they see now Hensley now looking to the inside of Thomas George. Those guys fighting out for 5th place.
He's going to pop out of line first time through turns 1 and 2 at speed in about 160, but the aero wash, these drivers will be fighting all night tonight, Kenyon.
Yeah, and drivers I really expect to see towards the front of the field are drivers from the Fuel IndyCar series. Now there's actually quite a crossover from those guys that race there, but they're used to aero push, especially at a track like this. So this will kind of be second nature to them. So, but the guys who don't really have much experience in the IndyCar, they're going to be struggling to try to figure out this package.
Buchanan and Brian Green trading spots down into turn number 3. Green's going to go back to the inside in that number 06 Ford Fusion. No challenge up front. First battle right now between that 06 and the 40 for 8th car in the fence. Couple of them in the fence. There's Phil Clark, and actually Greg Evans scrapes the wall out of turn 3 as well.
Yeah, so I believe Bagunian? Is that Bagunian in the FedEx Camry?
I don't think so. Is Bagunian even in the series?
That's I'm used to seeing him in a okay, that's not Bagunian, but I'm used to seeing him in that car. But someone in the FedEx Camry, they got very close to the wall. And again, I think it's that aero push that's catching these drivers off guard.
The 52 car wide, that's Casey Shue. There's Thomas Bressy's number 24. Bressy finished second last week at Monza. We thought at the halfway point he might have enough to win the race, but couldn't quite get it done. Scott Eckridge drove away, made it look easy. Look at Yazik on the inside. There's Travis McQuistion and Nick Cohan up in the outside lane in their Toyota Camrys.
Yeah, now both of them fighting. Yazik was one of the drivers who almost got into the wall, so here he is on the inside, Cohen on the outside.
Good drag race down the straightaway. There's Evan Adams in the number 59. He's having a decent run so far in 15th. We'll see if he can hold on to it for the rest of the race. And even in the draft, only 187 at the end of the front straight. That's slow for Pocono. They're lifting the throttle, trying to get back into it, but the aero push, a big deal tonight. These cars punch a big hole in the air.
Yeah, these guys going to be very careful in turn 1 because that's usually the tightest corner where people typically tend to wash up the track.
John Rodden in the 33 is
okay. Yeah, okay. It's weird to see a FedEx car that's not Cole Bacrini because usually him, but yeah, John Rodden running in 21st.
Here's Tyler Hensley to the inside of Tim Silliman. He'll take away 5th position, and Silliman now has Rich Jett in the 77 on the outside lane out of turn number 3. Going to get themselves single filed out. Buchanan on the charge, but he'll have to tuck back in line. You see in the background there, Adams under attack from Tyler Dolgers. Actually, that's Evan Adams and Christopher Matthews, excuse me, fighting for 15. But the progress from the 46 car of Greg Evans, Finian, started back in the 30th position, only up to 24th. It's going to be difficult to pass tonight. It's going to take him a long time to get up front.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing from here, this opening stint. I'm curious on how the passing or how the driving is really going to improve with these guys as the tires wear out, because that's, again, kind of an unknown. I expect them to be able to pass more, but it's kind of hard to tell.
McQuistion and Cohan, look at them, they're a bump draft on their way down to turn 3. Ooh. The 06 and the fence bounces off. Ooh, everyone scrambles to try to get out of the way, and they did that somehow without crashing and wadding up the whole field. But now the 06 dives to the inside, tries to get a run on the 55 of Yazik to get that spot back.
And Green did a great job of making sure he was wrecking loose, almost spun it out, but did a great job keeping off the wall.
Scramble towards the rear of the field. That's Phil Clark and Norman Pelletier, and add Don Runkle into the fight. They're scrambling down the front straight. Things look like they're crawling around here, don't they?
Yeah, it is a much slower pace. You see Don Runkle, a winner at Auto Club here. He's running in 26, trying to move himself up the field.
Battle for 7th right now. Rich Jett and Tim Silliman side by side, and that's going to add in the 24 of Thomas Bressi to the fight. Down through the tunnel turn. Ooh, slips 77.
Yeah, and you're going to see him lose that momentum, and again, momentum is really key from this package, no matter what track you go at, especially on the speedways. And if you lose that, there you see Rich Jett is going to be overtaken by Thomas Bressi. He tries to get it back, but can't get it done.
Out of turn 3 now, they're going to be... Well, that's going to be who picks what drafting line. The 24s will move over in front of the 6. That's going to hurt the 77. Maybe you can get a side draft off the 6 car down into turn 1, but also diving in underneath somebody, Finney, you're going to understeer or you're going to oversteer. One of the two is going to happen, and it's not going to be a whole lot of fun if those two get together.
You're going to see him probably back it out here and fall behind Silman. It's very hard to keep the inside line, or not.
He throttled up, and he's going to get around him here, and I don't know if he'll clear him just yet. Put some contact. Okay, there's a big gaggle going on right next to, that is the 88 of Tyler Dulger, and he's got Woody Mahan on the inside in the number 8 car.
Yeah, and then you see Timothy Johnson in the 28. He's back in 18th. trying to move himself up.
Remember Timothy Johnson last year's race was running quite well, then crashed, bring out the final caution here, which gave Greg Evans the win door-to-door through turn 3. Behind him, Mahan and Johnston, just inches they're playing with there. There's a 76 of Rick Thompson, multi-time winner from last year, has not really gone his way this season.
Yeah, indeed, and he's just trying to deal with it, but there you see Greg Evans now up in a 22nd, so Evans slow crawl, starting to pay dividends, so he's up now 8th position, now trying to make that 9 as he's trying to overtake John Rotten at 33.
It does look like it's difficult to get a run, but there John Rotten kind of overdrives the corner. Evans has to lift late, and you can see how much that aero lock is affecting, and now he's going to get a great run down the back straight. Look to the inside.
Yeah.
He should have this corner by the time he gets to the tunnel.
And that's like an IndyCar maneuver there. Back up the corner, wait to get on the gas, throttle up late, and use the momentum on the straight. Overtake. Solid move by Evans, and he's got a big group of cars up ahead of him, so he's making some good progress here. But still hurt by the fact we haven't had a caution. It's actually been very clean race so far.
Yeah, other than that little slip-up we saw a couple laps ago. Here comes Nico into the inside of the 6 inches they're playing with out of turn 3, side by side. And Silman's going to clear. See Woody Mahan jumping out of line way in the back. They're trying to maybe break a side draft. But now they're starting to kind of weave down the straightaway here, Finney. It's something you see a lot in IndyCar.
Yeah, Dollier got into the wall there. Mahan got out of line. He's going to overtake him. Here comes Timothy Johnson. And also the 76 of Rick Thompson.
Throw a blanket over this group of cars right now as they work their way through turn 1. Again, turn 1, the highest banked of the 3 corners. You can lean on the banking a lot there. And then you get down to the tunnel turn. That's really a single lane corner. Turn 3 is kind of multi-groove, but the inside tends to be the way to go there.
Thompson now with a big side draft going into the tunnel turn.
And this outside lane is just not sustainable for the 88 Hidalgo. Let's jump back up front for a moment. Here's Buchanan trying to hold off Bresci for 6th. And Zach Buchanan started in 7th, so just fighting to hang on to this spot for now. But Bresci right behind him started 14th, so climbing forward is that 24.
Yeah, he's starting to make a march up through the front of the field.
I think a lot of cars get in the fence out of turn 3, and I think that's because drivers are
Yeah.
fighting that aero push and they're struggling. Oh, got one spinning. That's Phil Clark in the back, I think. This is the number 99. Into the fence, caution out, lap number 10.
And we were just talking about guys getting caught out in turn 3 by that wall, and I think it's really we're really seeing it in drivers behind the big packed cars, facing all that turbulent air. It's just really taking the handling away from them and catching them off guard.
Yeah, he was all by himself here. I didn't see anybody around him. I think he just got up into the fence out of turn 3 and just hit the wall hard enough to throw the car offline. Oh, he just missed that pit road attenuator. That would have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that car is in pretty good shape other than the damage to the rear of it, but could have been a lot worse.
Right on board. And sometimes by the time you kind of realize you're in too deep, it's too late to back off the throttle. You can't really turn out of it and, into the fence. And then just had to swing it around just to miss that pit road wall. And pretty severe damage to that car, but he should be able to keep going, fix up at least most of it. Catch back up to the field, but so far Anthony DeBarro has led every single lap on that number 27 car. Not a huge surprise here. Looks like passing's difficult, but that aero wash is really keeping Eckrich behind. But is this the night that we see Eckrich get dethroned a couple more times this season, or?
Unless he doesn't get into the lead here, from what it looks like it's really hard to catch the leader, and I think we've seen that in real life too with this package, the way it works. On the speedways, it's really hard to catch the leaders, so I think unless he can try to maybe outmaneuver DeBarro in the pits, or try to catch him on the track, it's going to be hard to get around him.
Taking a look at the manufacturers, they're pretty well distributed. There's a couple more Camaros than Fusions or Camrys, but Toyota leading the field, but then a rash of Camaros, and then a Ford. Kind of mix them up as we head back through the rest of the top 15. Pretty even distribution of cars this year, which is always nice to see, although we're expecting the new Ford Mustang pretty soon, and that should spice things up a little. All right, well, I would assume you're going to want to come to pit road and get tires on these cars.
Yeah, they had a pretty solid run, 10 laps on these tires. I'm sure they want to, and also it's a good indicator of the wear, just to kind of gauge how much these tires wear, being stuck in behind someone. So, and you can see everyone buckling to the inside, and here they come down on pit road.
Yeah, kind of a late move here, but they're all going to come on down. Bring the entire field of pit road. Now, does anybody stay out, is the question. I don't think
I think
we
might see someone stay out a lead a lap for points, but other than that, I think everyone wants the tires.
A couple of cars thinking about it towards the rear there. I think everybody is on in. Navarro's got that #1 pit stall. That's where you're going to want to be tonight, and you can just accelerate straight out of pit road.
Oh, Scott Eckridge sliding.
Oh, he missed his
boy.
box. That's going to be a big hit for him.
Yeah, and he's too far to the left, so he's going to have to reposition. He's going to lose a ton of spots here.
I did hear one car drive by. It was Phil Clark's number 99. Down to the racetrack. Race off pit road here, though. Navarro's going to win it. Eckridge is going to lose a lot of spots. He's not even going to come out in the top 10. That's good. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Bad sequence for him. Hensley lost 4 spots. Cohen picked up 4. The rest of the field kind of picking up a few here and there.
17. Oof.
That's not good.
Yeah, that is not good at all for him.
Evan Adams kind of peeling off pit lane back in 32nd as well. Has had a good run so far. Not sure if he's fixing some damage or something, but field rolls off pit lane. Jeff Ward's going to retain 2nd. How about Zach Buchanan coming out in 3rd in that number 40 car? Thomas Bresci from 14th to 4th, so he's climbing forward. And Rich Jett in the 77. I don't remember where he started. We'll take a look back in 5th. Well, he hasn't been far for the course so far tonight.
Yeah, indeed. Not too much movement other than Scott Eckridge losing all those positions. He's stuck back in 19, so a long way forward for the 70 car. And we were just talking about how he needed to try to outsmart Navarro, or just try to find some way to get ahead of him. And now that made his life a lot harder.
Right. I would like to see if we could talk to Zach Buchanan here, Finney, and I think that would be a good idea. And I'll see if I can grab him here. Probably get him. Hey, Zach Buchanan, it's Kyle from SimTV. You got a copy? Oh, we're not even in Discord. Hey, Zach Buchanan, it's Kyle from SimTV. You got a copy?
Yep, gotcha.
Well, so far for you, started back in the 7th position up to 3rd. What's it like out there right now with this new package?
It's interesting. On new tires, it's really, really close. You get some good runs on people if you set the car up right, but once the tires start wearing, you don't really have quite as much pace as you do, so you really have to work for all your time game. The car really likes to push.
How's the drafting situation on the front straightaway? Is that useful enough to get a pass, or is it just enough to get you there?
I think it's similar to how it was on the old package. We'll see a lot of people trying to help each other, but they won't be making that much gain unless they get a good run out of 3.
And speaking of helping each other, what's the plan for, do you have any teammates in the field you can work with? Anybody on your radar, or is this just every man for himself right now?
I don't have anyone that I'm confiding with right now, so I'm just going to take whatever kind of help I can get and try to form a relationship on track.
All right, well, we'll send you back to your team. Good luck out there, Zach. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you.
Kind of running 3rd. I like the way that 40 car's looking. You know, it seems like drivers are kind of struggling right now with the passing situation on track at the moment, Finian. What can you do as a driver to assess that problem? Strategy? I mean, track position seems like it's important right now.
Yeah, I'd say the best strategy when you're facing a situation like that where it's hard on once the tires wear out, it's hard to pass, is trying to save the tires as much as possible. It's a lot easier said than done, but just trying to make sure you're not overdriving the corner. Try to stick to the middle line, or try to go as far away from the inside as you can. Make the corners longer, just to try to prevent that wear on the tires, make them last longer, so that way when other people's tires wear out, you have fresher tires and are able to use that to pass. Taking a look at the temperatures here today, Finian, 98 degrees on the track. It's cooling down a bit. Not as slippery as I think drivers would like it to be. This pavement's still relatively new, but it is bumpy. And that might throw off the balance of the car a bit. These cars are sealed off to the ground pretty well, and if you hit a bump, it could upset your balance. Yeah, and we've seen some guys, this track isn't as bad as it used to be. It used to be far worse. And it looks like we're going to stick with the single file restarts here, I think. Or are they got a whole lap to double them up. We'll see if they do or not. But it's a big enough track, and it's not really a huge disadvantage to do it that way. Maybe just prevent further incident. I mean, maybe it's being a proactive call here. Not a bad idea, I don't think. But see if we can try it. Let's see, it will really be like IndyCar if we do a single file restart. It's going to feel very much like that. And people have, been critical of this package and have said, well, it's basically just like a slow IndyCar. And they're not really wrong, but I think the problem with it is that they create more dirty air than an IndyCar does. Yeah, I would say they don't allow the good part of the racing of an IndyCar. Yeah, I would say IndyCars are also really, with the dirty air like that. The good thing about them is that they're able to move around mid corner a lot to get out of the dirty air. That's what makes the racing fun and entertaining. But yeah, with these guys are pretty much stuck in the air until they get out of the corner. So yeah, it's very difficult.
Once you pick a line, I mean, there's really no deviating.
You're committed to it.
And especially at racetracks like this, maybe Auto Club or Michigan, you could agree that you could at least go to the high side. But Pocono's a pretty single file, line-sensitive racetrack that you can't really play around with multiple groups.
Yeah, I would say the only real turn you can play around with it is turn 3, and it looks like we're going to be single file for these restarts.
All right, well, we're going to tune it up. We're going to restart lap number 15. Not yet, a quarter of the way through. 80 laps in the CJAutoPA 200 here tonight at the Tricky Triangle. Anthony DeBarro's led every single lap so far. Jeff Ward, Zach Buchanan, Thomas Bresci, Rich Jett, the rest of your top 5 pace cars off. Green flag flies. We're racing again here at Pocono.
You see everyone getting off single file. Does anyone dare to make a pass?
Whoa,
there you see everyone diving down. There we go. This looks like IndyCar. 3 wide, 4 wide as they head off into turn 1.
Down into turn 1, 3 wide. Is this going to work? Cohan in the bad position, but on fresh tires, they might be able to make it work. The 6 car sandwiched between the 77 and 21 as they exit turn 1.
Great Joe, boy.
Whoa!
Yeah, someone was trying to get out of it, but he's stuck from everyone. There you see guys going down to the dotted yellow line on the inside, trying to give each other room.
McQuistion all the way to the yellow line. There's the 21 car of Cohan, and oh man, the 06 trying to throw his nose in there, but Zilliman going backwards. Hensley on the outside lane of Cohan now up front. It's still DeBarro by 0.2 of a second over Ward, but it's an absolute dogfight for 6. Caution out again. This time it's towards the rear of the field. Big wreck on the back straight. Justin Rodden. First one I see involve Phil Clark again. He's going to squeeze on through.
Yeah, 62, Wilco went flying in the air.
Wilco car destroyed. Now let's go back and take a look at what caused this one. But aggressive on the restarts. It was a 38 car that was the first one to get sideways. Here's a look. On the outside, does he get a hit from Rodden? Yep, some contact there. It turns Rodden across the racetrack, and wow, there's a big hit there. Whoa! Oh man, the 62 went for a ride. Here's another look.
What on earth happened to him?
Oh, we got hit from Evan Adamson with sailing across the racetrack. And big hit for the 62. And it's funny enough, I saw a wreck just like this in practice. Same cars and everything, but wow, look at that. All 4 tires off the ground, hits the fence.
He went flying over someone. I don't know who was lucky enough to drive it.
Stephen Herring in the 64? Oh, I don't know. Actually.
Oh, someone further up on the
73 of Casey Campbell. Here it is. Wow. But then he had to slam on the brakes and just squeak through on the inside of the 0-1 of Justin Rodden. Second caution of the night here. Campbell gets through without incident. But cautions breed cautions, even on the single file restarts. But again, I think single file corners, you can't really be pushing through the tunnel turn like that, even on a restart.
Yeah, dude, it's really hard, again, as you're trying to get up to speed, just trying to figure out, how the car's going to handle, because you're still trying to gain some speed here, and you're stuck in the dress, so it's hard to gauge how the car and everything is handling. But yeah, I'm not surprised, no takers on.
A couple of drivers thinking about it. McQuistion maybe taking a look. Eckrich coming in, and I like this idea here, Finian. I mean, you're back here anyway. You might as well put some fresh tires on. I know you only had about a half a lap of use, but like, hey, can't hurt, right?
Yeah, I guess, and also it helps too that a lot of the guys behind came in too, so he's not going to really lose that many spots.
Again, Eckrich lost a ton of positions on that previous stop. He's going to come on down and probably take 4 tires and fuel again. Right side's going up on the 70 car. I assume we'll see the left sides go up as well. There they go. So 4 tires for the 70. Mike Hurley in the 32 is the last car to stay on the racetrack. Come rolling off the pit now. Well, pit road is kind of a graveyard back here, Finian. Behind, I mean, Casey Campbell's okay, but Evan Adams and Brian Greenlee, actually, Greenlee's got his car really repaired. I think Adams and the 62 of Wilco got the worst of Adams. And I think that'll probably be night over for.
Trying to do it out of the garage.
Trying to get into his pit stall, I think. 62 car is somehow still rolling. I don't know how that's possible, but
do they? Oh, they have fast repairs.
I was gonna. Okay, yeah, they must have a fast repair. That car was not.
Yeah, I was gonna say that car was a tire. And I think Evan is still struggling to service his car because We should have seen it fixed by now, considering I'm definitely sure these guys have fast repairs.
Yeah, well, that 62 would not have driven away like that unless there was something seriously wrong with the officiating, because they just let him take a backup car out of the truck, I think.
I was gonna say, he whipped out the backup car.
Caution out here, lap number 17. It's the second caution we've had so far. The caution laps here, Finney, they take a long time, but interesting to note, no lead changes so far. Anthony DeBarro out front. And Scott Erkich's progress, even though it was a restart and only had about a half a lap to get somewhere, didn't really make a whole lot of progress. So I think this is a great race for someone like Don Runkle Jr. Remember at Auto Club, threw a Hail Mary and won the race. I think you're going to see something like that tonight, especially if there's a late race caution.
Yeah, what did I say? We only see passing. We were talking with Buchanan, and he was saying it really was only passing in the first few laps when the tires were fresh, and then after that, it was really hard to pass and gain runs.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back live to the Tricky Triangle here on Sim TV for race number 7 of the 2019 HostVenom Cup Series. And Anthony DeBarro's led every single lap so far. We've had 2 cautions slow the pace here early. One for a single car incident with the 99 of Phil Clark, and then a second one for an issue between Brian Greenlee, Rodden Wilco, and Evan Adams. Just coming to the restart here, making our way down into turn number 2, known as the tunnel turn here, where the ingress and egress tunnel is for the racetrack. But Finney and DeBarro has just got a commanding lead. And again, we talked about track position being so important. I don't really see anybody being able to get around him if they don't play some kind of strategy.
Yeah, indeed. And I just got confirmation from race officials these guys are allowed to use for the faster pairs they were given. I don't know how many they were given, but they're able to use them.
And Evan Adams did not use it, interestingly enough.
Yeah, I... surprised he didn't realize it, because it's very easy to tell, because they're enabled automatically. You have to disable it manually, but nonetheless, we're going to be coming back to green here.
Single file restarts here, and we saw them get really wild on the last restart. Nick Cohan, Travis McQuistion, Tim Silliman, Tyler Hensley were all 3 and 4 wide heading down into turn 1. We might see something similar here again tonight. Pace cars off. Lap number 20 coming to the restart to the 1/4 point of this race. Green flag flies, racing again here at Pocono.
And these guys racing off the turn 1. There you see guys now starting to fan out as they're building up runs.
Yep, Nick Cohen popping right out of line again. No surprises there. To the inside of Tyler Hensley, and now to the inside of the 77 Rich Jet down into turn 1. Looks like he'll grab a spot away.
Indeed, behind them, they see Tim Silliman and Timothy Johnson fight for position.
That Buchanan poking out a line up the road. Here comes the 24, Bresci crossing over back to the outside for the tunnel turn.
Yeah, he's going to do the fake out. He's going to try to run the outside lane. I don't know how much this is going to work here. Just not enough momentum. Also, the car gets very tight up to the wall.
Crosses him over down into turn 3. Not going to have enough run. There's McQuistion taking a look.
Yeah, I was going to say he lost momentum. Now here comes McQuistion in turn 3. I think McQuistion's going to get him.
That's just opportunity to kind of bite me in the butt there. They're going to be side by side at a turn 4, and Buchanan's going to be able to draft away. These guys push drag on each other. As the whole field makes their way down the straight. There's Eckrich in the middle of a hornet's nest towards the rear. Let's go all the way back to 23rd position and watch this battle.
Yeah, and here he comes on the inside of John Runkle for 22nd place. So Eckrich, a lot of work to be done here, but is slowly moving his way forward.
Runkle on the outside. He's going to lose that spot to Eckrich up to 22nd. Oh, we got one spinning. Is he going to save it? Don't see where he went. Stephen Herring, or no, that's Rick Thompson. 76.
Did he spin? I saw some tire marks. Here's some spun or just card crank.
Oh my goodness.
Great job.
Is a save and a half. Let's watch another replay of that.
That is some smart driving right there.
Oh, got to the inside of Michael Hurley and hit him out of turn 1. Oh my goodness, did a great job of weighing that thing down and preventing another caution. Fight. Oh, look at Greg Evans. That's the 56 of Norm Pelletier back here. And now look at this gaggle down the front straight.
Here we go, 3 wide. These guys are going to be racing up to turn 1. And Scott Eckrich right there behind. I'm not sure who that is as they head off in turn 1.
52 of Casey Shue. Dolger on the outside, close on the door. 3 wide for a moment. Here comes the 88 to the outside of Pelletier. He's way up the racetrack in turn 1.
Yeah, he's going to be very careful. He's lucky he's got the tires to do it. But yeah, if you get offline in turn 1 later in a run, you can kiss your car goodbye. You're going to hit the wall.
Bresci and Buchanan side by side for 3rd. We're going to watch this battle as it's the closest on the racetrack right now. Eckrich has moved his way up into 19th. Again, he's got about lap pressure tires here. Look at John Rodden in the 33 sliding right across the nose of the 56. But now, Eckrich and Evans, these two guys, probably the two best in the field on a normal day. But Evans has not had the season he's been looking for so far. Dolger to the inside of Pelletier out of turn 3.
Yeah, these guys are still fighting for position. Runkle's still trying to defend on the inside line.
They've got it mostly sorted, so we'll jump back up to the front where Bresci has stolen 3rd away from Zach Buchanan, but Buchanan's not giving it up just yet.
And, you know, I'm curious now how much can Bresci chase down Jeff Ford.
Buchanan brushed the wall out of turn 2. It was turn 1, excuse me.
And yeah, again, you're still seeing no change up for the lead. They actually get separated by a decent amount as Jeff Ford's trailing DeBarro.
Yeah, 1/10 of a second, now it's 3/10 though, so that arrow push really hurting trailing drivers. There is the 71 of Dale Brooks to the inside of 88 of Dolger, who has slipped back on this restart. Casey Shue's number 52 started in 9th. He's just done nothing but slip back today. Pitted more than once? Yeah, he's pitted twice. He's the last car to have done so. Jump up towards the front again, and Buchanan's trying to track down Bresci. Again, you see him trying to offset his car by a couple feet just to get some air on the nose, but that arrow push so bad.
Yeah, especially in turn 1, that's typically where you lose a lot of the momentum, and then you spend turn 2 and 3 trying to gain back what you lost.
180 down on the short chute, then off into the tunnel turn again. You can just see how tight he is. Gets in the fence again. Just a smidge of damage on that right front. Shouldn't affect him too much here.
Him trying to, he was pushing to try to get back up to Bresci. He's gonna go out of line a little bit, but then yeah, just can't get it done. He's gonna try to get a run in towards turn 1, but these guys really aren't picking up that much of a draft.
Yeah. I mean, you can see the 24 still pulling on him after getting a good draft, or getting a good run out of turn 3. So the draft really not as effective as you'd expect it to be around here. And are they running the aero ducts here? I don't remember what the configuration
I was trying to look at the front of the cars because they actually modeled that in iRacing, but I didn't see it on the Camrys and the Camaro, so I don't think they are.
Take a look out of McQuistion's rear bumper with Cohan all over it.
Yeah, there's only the main radiator that I see there. The main vent to the radiator. I don't see any braking ducts, but there's you going to the inside of Hensley. He's going to get that spot.
How about this? This is something really cool. to see, though, is Tyler Hensley and Nick Cohen mixing it up. These guys were running completely different leagues at one point.
Yeah.
And now all the talents have condensed into one, and it's awesome to see these guys all running together.
Especially Hensley and Bresci, they're from the Hardline Racing League. They're doing very well this season. Bresci is in the top 10 of points. I think Hensley is as well. I'll double check that. Both of them having pretty good seasons so far. It's nice to see them coming over and doing toe-to-toe with some of the greats here, like Cohen.
Hey, that, yeah. Jeff Ward in the 89 is close to the rear bumper of DeBarro. He might actually be a tick quicker and was a 10th faster last time through, but can't seem to get a run on the leader. And Bresci is closing in on both of them, ran about 2/10 quicker than our leader and a 10th quicker than second last time through.
It looks like Ward's actually starting to stick with them. I've been noticing in the last two runs that the leader, the second place car fell back by about half a second after a few laps. But here is Ward now. He's going to get a big run on DeBarro.
Yeah, when you're this close, you can't afford to stick in behind those. I mean, if you get down to turn one this close, you're going to get a big push. What you need to do is get in here, get side by side, and make him back out of it. But you see, he's going to lose all that ground he had gained on the straightaway through the corner.
What I notice is that he's backing out. It's actually smart driving by the 89. So I'm noticing he's backing out a lot earlier than DeBarro. He's setting up the corner and exiting late, and there you see him gain a lot of momentum here headed towards turn 2.
And the gap is a 10th, and it's not easy to stay that close behind. You see again through the tunnel turn, though, backing up the corner. He's a bit offline compared to the 27, but Bresci is reeling both of these guys in. It's going to be a three-way battle for the lead here in a couple minutes.
Bresci, wow, really sent it in turn 3, gained up a ton of time. We effectively have a three-way battle for the lead here.
You see McQuistion, Cohen, and Hensley goes to tail on the front straight. Everyone else kind of single-filed out. Looks like the 70 has worked his way up to 16th, so Eckrich, after restarting back in 23rd, has made up about 7 spots. Oh, 27 moved up the racetrack on entry there maybe a little bit. Maybe to hold off the 24?
Yeah, I think maybe just try to get those guys behind him. I think he's noticed that they're running a little bit higher on entry, so he's trying to give them some of that dirty air to prevent them from gaining a run. But here comes Hensley to the inside, and Cohen's got a run on McQuistion, and what's he going to do?
Give him a little shove here. The 21 and 44 won't give up the fight yet. Door to door through the tunnel turn. That's hard to do here, guys.
Yeah, Hensley's going to lose a lot of momentum, and here comes Rich Jett now behind him.
I think the 44 is still in a good spot here. Led the inside lane for turn number 3, right behind Timothy Johnston in the 28. He started pretty deep in the field, 27th and 9th, so he's come forward quick as well. So 2 by 2, a couple rows deep. Now the 44 is going to slot back in behind Jett. He'll lose that spot. Seems like offensive driving is being kind of penalized here today. I mean, if you don't make the pass, they can hurt you big time.
Yeah, and you got to be really smart in how you take the corners here. And up towards the front for third, Bresci's building up a really good run on Ward. Is he going to make the pass here? Here he comes. He's looking.
I think that's all you have to do is look. If you can get alongside, he's not quite going to be able to get there. If you can just get to the quarter panel and force that driver to back out, you have the spot. But just get up alongside is already hard enough. You see him using the apron to try to get the car to rotate, but can't quite get there.
Yeah, I think he knows that being stuck in behind, or even being just in behind someone going to a corner, is kind of a death sentence for the guy that's trying to make the pass. I think you got to be really side by side.
Listen.
Yeah.
So Thomas Bresci down to 3rd gear, and I wonder if we'll see that down in turn 1 as well, or if the downforce is going to prevent that.
Let's go on to Bar. I'm curious if he's also doing it as well.
So Bresci to the inside here. He'll take that spot.
Yeah, Ward's going to give it to him.
Bresci's downshifting, and DeBarro is not.
So, yeah, and we saw that Bresci's been able to drive away from people here, and everyone else is kind of stuck where they are, so interesting stuff here.
Well, and again, Bresci's a great road racer. See the 89 trying to return the favor, can't get to the quarter panel, but Bresci's a road racer, knows how to downshift properly, and to make that downshifting technique work. We've seen it burn drivers in the past. I think a couple weeks ago at ISM Raceway with Connor Horn.
Yeah,
was
twice.
Downshifting off into turn 1 and twice. Missed the shift and over, or didn't ramp quite enough, locked up the rear wheels and spun the car out twice, gave away the win, but Bresci's good. I don't see him doing that here. But it's risky for sure if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, well, so far he knows what he's doing, and it's working, paying dividends for him. He's currently up in the 2nd, trying to chase down the leader.
And Woody Mahan in the car number 8 Camaro started 24th up to 11th. There's a side-by-side battle. Brian Yazek involved. Eckrich is up to 14th now. Greg Evans stuck 17th, but the driver I've been watching slip backwards, fitting is the 6th of Tim Silliman. Started in 6th, down to 18th. And this isn't strategy, he's just going backwards, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I noticed that on the last run, too. He was falling back, and someone was smoking.
Oh, yeah, there's big smoke
on
the road.
Yeah.
Evan Adams in the 30 or 59, and that's going to bring out a caution.
Really?
As he stops on the apron there. Surprised by that one, but...
That's dumb.
Well...
He was completely off the apron. Well, that's unfortunate. And I think this is him not... Because he didn't fix his damage, and I think you can see the engine here go... And there she starts smoking.
Yeah, I don't get not taking the fast repair.
Yeah, I'm guessing he didn't realize it, so he had it, and he's going to be kicking himself now that he realized that he didn't have it and was able to use it.
Well, kind of a silly yellow as he had pulled off safely to the side.
Yeah, I'm surprised it detected it, so
caution out, third time tonight. Gone 9 caution laps of the 32 we've done so far. 100% we're going to see pit stops here, but what about Eckrich? Maybe play some strategy and move himself up front and hope on a quick yellow?
I think what he should do, if I was a crew chief, bring him in for 2. It's a little bit risky, but you need the tires. But you also need the track position here, because he's not going to be making up position if he's just going to be pitting here. Because other than some really from fairly avoidable yellows, we were set up. We've been setting up to have long green flag runs here. So I think he's going to have to try to make up that most of that track position on pit road. I think he should come in for 2 tires.
I like that call. I just don't know what we're going to see.
Well, actually, he is in 13, so he's in.
I mean, he's not that far back.
Yeah, I thought he was still back in 17, 18. So I think he could probably get away with 4. He's got to really make sure he doesn't mess up entry in his pit stop.
He's tied for the best time of the night with a 52.340, tied with leader Anthony DeBarro. But DeBarro's had clean air the whole time, so I think Eckrich is a tick quicker than DeBarro, but it's not going to matter if you're stuck in the dirty air behind him. So caution out, lap number 31. We're going to come around lap 32, and we're going to see pit stops. The question becomes, does anyone try something different?
Yeah, I think for the most part, unless you're really trying to make up some track position, we're going to see everyone take 4 tires.
Yeah, everyone's coming out. I think I saw one car that looked like it was going to stay out on... It's for Matthews in the 92. And he wasn't far back, so maybe a strategy call here. Banking on a quick yellow, potentially? I don't see why not. I mean, you're not going to win the race from 15th. You might as well give it a try, right? Find out.
Here comes everyone down on pit road.
Now, does Eckrich get into his stall cleanly this time?
I'm sure he's going to make sure he does. Oh, slid in.
He slid in, but he's in the stall, and we'll get service. So that was close, but... Johnson already off. Cohan already off. These pit stops seem quick, don't they?
Yeah, they need to do. And here comes everyone off pit road. DeBar's going to lead over Jeff Ward, who's going to be ahead of Bresci. That's your top 3.
Right, yes, go 7 spots.
I'm curious, did he do anything to improve that? Because I feel like he did.
He got a 0.3 second stop.
Did he take fuel only? Or,
I mean, again, maybe he feels like the tires aren't worth that much.
If we can try to get a replay of him going to pit road, I'm curious of what happened to him, because that's kind of unusual.
Yeah, 0.3 second stop is quick no matter what. Maybe this is a timing and scoring issue.
Oh, I saw the jacks go up.
Who's in? It's definitely longer than 0.3.
Oh, so yeah, it was just a weird error on our part.
So, but was it 4 tires though, or was it just right sides? Just right sides for them.
Okay.
I like that call. What do we see on the 70 car?
He's back in 17, so I'm guessing 4.
Yeah, 4 tires for the 70. See the rest of the people going off pit lane. 40 Buchanan's going to lose a spot, but not on pit road just because Matthews stayed out. Maybe just leading a lap here potentially, but if I were the 92, I would just stay out. I mean,
yeah, he's staying out.
I would just
not. Okay.
I would have stayed out if I were Matthews. Throw something crazy at it. We've seen.
I was going to say he would be also able to the fact that there are single file restarts too, so it would have been a lot harder for people to build up runs and pass him compared to double file restarts. So. But he's going to play it safe. He's going to come down pit road. He'll get the bonus point for leading lap, but he's going to be put way down the order.
All right, rather than sit here under yellow, we're going to go to break again real quick. We'll be right back. Stay with us for the restart.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
One lap to the restart here at the Tricky Triangle on SimTV for race number 7 of the 2019 HostVenom Cup Series. Anthony DeBarro has led every single lap so far tonight. We've had 3 cautions slowing the pace. The 99 spinning out in turn number 3. The 62 and 59 getting together on the back straightaway, and then the 59 parking it on the apron after having a blown engine. And unfortunately, that brought out the yellow. Adams said that he didn't want to waste the fast repair, but with damage like that, I would have taken it. Not sure why he didn't.
Yeah, like it was like a few dents. So, you know, I can understand not taking it, but I mean,
hindsight's 2020.
You're completely missing the front end of your car, and you had some radio damage. I would have taken it, but that's Evan's loss, and unfortunately, he's going to be finishing way down the order. So tough break for him tonight. He's having a decent run too before that happened.
Yeah, and hindsight's always 2020 in those kinds of situations. We do have 2 retirements so far tonight. Evan Adams and then 59. Well, actually, okay, we have. Actually,
no, we have 2.
2 retirements. Evan Adams and the 59, and the 0-1 of Justin Rod. But Anthony DeBarro has led every single lap so far. Don't see it changing. Not a whole lot of strategy here. The 55 and Jacek did take 2 tires, though. We'll see how that stacks up. So keep in your mental notebox. Keep your mental notebook. Notebox. That the 55 is on 2 tires. Start restarting 8.
I would say that DeBarro definitely has a chance of being passed. I think that 24 is going to be a threat because we saw him easily work around most of the drivers in the field. He's got fresh tires. He's going to be starting in 3rd. I'm sure he would have loved to been ahead of Jeff Ward, but Ward was able to get back around him under the pit stop, so he's going to have one more car to pass. But definitely that shifting method really seeming to work for them.
Pace car pulls off. We're going to head back to the restart. Anthony DeBarro's 27 Coors Light Camry out up front. Waiting for the green flag as the pace car pulls off. Look at Zach Buchanan in the 40. He's kind of taking a look out to the left to see what opportunities there are. Green flag back in the air here at Pocono. We're closing in on halfway in race number 7.
Yeah, I'm waiting for people to file out, and there you see Thomas George on the inside. Cohen
aggressive again.
Every single time he's been able to get built. He's been getting really good restarts here. Almost always able to pass someone.
Silman continues to drop backwards down to 27. This is not the night.
I'm curious what's wrong with that 6 car because it looks in perfectly fine condition, but nonetheless up to towards the front of the field. Cohen to the inside of Buchanan. They're fighting for 4th place. Bresci kind of trying to take away 2nd from Jeff Ward.
Nick Cohan has clawed his way forward, started 18th up to 5th. He's done it slowly.
Ooh, Buchanan hit the apron. Wow, yeah.
Wow, that was close.
Yeah, he hit the apron and shot up the track. Did a great job of keeping it off the ball.
Barrow leads down into turn number 3. Ward and Bresci, but Buchanan right on the tailpipes of that 24. Out of turn 3, I think this 24 is going to have a run for 2nd. He's going to take a look to the inside.
He's going to try to get the run, but facing that air like that, he's not going to gain much of it. He's going to try to side drive. That's his only bet.
I think he'll have this as long as he sends it down into the corner deep enough.
I'm curious if Ward's going to fight with the glass in there side by side. He gave it to him, and he is going to give it to him. And here comes Buchanan now trying to take the opportunity.
Got to be opportunistic here with that 89 offline. The 40 car is going to take that opportunity and get door to door, but the 89 is going to use that run, and he should be able to clear and look at the 89 down in front of the 40, kind of preventing him from making another run. Meanwhile, behind, as the 40 tries to move back over, there's the 55 of Jacek. He's only lost 1 spot since the restart. He's got a big stack of the cars behind him. Remember, this blue car is on 2 tires only.
Yeah, and he looks so far so good. He's doing all right, but again, we're going to have to wait out throughout the run to see how his car is handling.
There's Scott Eckridge in the number 70, 15th right now.
And he's going to be trying to work up to the front here. Again, I think that 2 tires probably should have been his call, but he's got at least fresh tires to last this out. And again, we've been having some really good green flag runs here, so it's going to be good for his advantage. But up for the front, I see Ward and Buchanan side by side.
Yeah, I think Buchanan's a tick quicker right now. He's going to have a run to the inside, down on the short chute. But as long as he keeps the nose in there, he should be able to get this spot. If the 89 clears him, it's going to be game over for now.
Let's see, Buchanan's kind of far back. Ward's going to try to pinch him out of it, and Buchanan's going to give it up.
Not quite. He was close, though.
Oh, and here comes Cohan now with a huge run on Buchanan in turn 3.
And taking a look, and he's going to get this spot. And again, offensive maneuvers seem to be really hurting everyone tonight.
Yeah, I think really, if you're going to make a pass, you really need to be dedicated to it. You can't dick around with trying
for
to,
lack of a better term.
you can't try to haphazardly make a pass. You got to be committed and have to know that you're going to want it.
Daytona on the front straight.
Yeah, guys bump drafting each other on the outside lane, doing a good job at it. That's Timothy Johnson and Woody Mahan.
Down into turn 1, Mahan's going to pop out of line and steal a spot away, but behind, 3 wide for a moment. Eckridge takes a couple spots in one corner, gets around George and Brian Green, who almost get together. Look at Greg Evans splitting him 3 wide on that turn 1 now.
Now, Scott Eckridge is going to have a run on Timothy Johnson. What's he going to do? He's going to sit behind. He's going to look here in the tunnel turn.
If Johnson fights this, doesn't look like it. He's not going to have enough of the car to maintain that. But behind Greg Evans and Thomas George, they're side by side for a moment.
Greg Evans now to the inside of him. Thomas George kind of falling back quite a bit, not as high as I thought the 9 car would be here tonight.
Yeah, interesting. A lot of the drivers we expected to be up front are having a lot of trouble tonight. Again, new package favoring some drivers rather than others. And that was a tight battle for about a lap, but we're not quite done yet. Eckridge has pulled away and passed all these cars, but Johnson, George, Green, and Evans continue to run in 12 through 15.
Here comes Johnson now on the outside of Green.
On and Brian Yazek. This is actually paying off for Yazek right now. He's only lost 1 spot. He's probably going to lose another one here, but 2 spots in only a couple laps isn't too bad. I thought he'd drop a lot quicker than this.
Yeah, he's actually holding on pretty well. So 2 tires, not the worst call in the world. Definitely in the later part of a run towards the end of the race. It's definitely a good call to try to gain track position, which seems a lot more important than the tires.
Caution.
Oh.
And I see a big shakeup.
Is Greg Evans is dropping down.
Oh no! Crash for the 46. Greg Evans, one of the championship drivers, in the wall or heading into turn number 3. And that car is all torn up on the left side. Wow.
Yeah, what happened to him now is what I'm curious about.
This is the 06 car. Oh, just turned him on the back straightaway here. Not sure what that was all about.
I think he was trying to side draft him or something. I think he was trying to get as far to the wall as he could. Setting up for turn 3. He kind of misjudged that.
Yeah, this is definitely on the 06 here, but watch one more replay to see if 46 didn't move over on it. No, that's definitely on the 06.
Yeah.
That's just a little bit silly. I mean, you know, you're side drafting, but you got to give people a little bit of room and just turn the 46 into the fence. I'm sure there'll be some discussion about that post-race.
I'm sure that Evans is going to have a lot to say about that. It's just been a horrible season for him so far, and this is just going to add to it with having a pretty solid run.
Yeah, just turns right into him. Almost looked intentional at that point, but obviously it wasn't. It was a big, bad mistake from 06 of Brian Green, and 36 heads into the fence, right on board with 46. And again, he's just going straight as can be down the straightaway here. Gets left hook. Him trying to catch it, but not really up. And pretty big hit to the inside wall.
Well, fortunately for him, he's going to have...
Fast repair.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world for him, but he's going to be way back in the
Yeah, but we're halfway through the race. We've seen even the quickest car, one of the quickest cars in the field, Scott Eckridge, came on down. He was way in the back. It's taken him 20, 30 laps just to get back here.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious here. I want to see if you can pull up how many laps they've been on their tires.
Oh, once they go to pit road, it's going to reset. So.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, we're on pit lane again.
I think it's been about 5 laps-ish.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, does anyone dare take 2? Because we saw with Yazek, it wasn't a horrible plan, and Yazek, I think, had 10 laps on his, and Matthews is going to stay out, and I think that's going to be for good here. And if we can come back down to pit road.
Oh, Greg Evans is going to be able to drive right on through as well, I think. Is that how that's going to work out?
No, he's going to get cycled back, I think, close pits. But,
I see. Oh, race off pit road. Oh.
I think George?
No, Navarro's got him.
Oh, but George is up in a second place.
Yeah, I think this is a
definitely took 2 tires.
Yeah, 2-tire stop.
Who else? Gale Brooks. Smart call on him. So, good call by those 2 drivers, because again, I think that the tires don't seem to be as bad. It's definitely harder to pass, but you don't fall, you don't drop like a rock. And I think Evans is gonna have to give it up. There's no way he's gonna be able.
That would be excellent for him.
Yeah, no.
But I don't think that's gonna work like that.
I'm pretty sure the pit road's closed before the leaders come down.
Oh yeah, because the caution was out.
Because otherwise, everyone would do that.
Yeah, that's not gonna work out.
So he's gonna have to let the field on by. But
Chris, I want this 92 to stay out. He's led a lap already.
Yeah, I'm curious if he stayed out again because he didn't lead the lap because he had to drive up to beat the leaders before the line on pit road. I'm curious if he stayed out again to try to ensure that he led the lap. So let's see what he does here. Because this will be our first opportunity to see how no tires compare to tires. Even though it was only 5 lap difference, it'll be something. And it looks like he's gonna come back down on pit road.
Why though?
I'm guessing he probably didn't lead that lap, so he came back out.
Might not
to
lead
lead
this one either with the field right here. I mean, I would just stay out. I mean, you're nothing to lose.
I think you have to try to get it when the field's on pit road, and you have to try to floor it up to the base car. So I think
that lap either.
Yeah, so he's gonna be back down on pit road. So he's gonna
out.
Yeah, it really is.
Greg Evans back down on pit lane. Might as well. Don Runkle Jr. is gonna follow him. But Anthony DeBarro continues to lead. He's led every single lap of this race. Had exactly no lead change. Okay, lead changes under caution I wouldn't really count. So we've had really officially 0 lead changes. Had 4 cautions for 13 laps. Most recent for Greg Evans heading down into turn number 3. Tim Silman noted.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Talk to him. He's hanging out in Discord. We'll see what's up with the 6. Find out what's going on inside that rig share. Hey, Tim Silman, it's Kyle Heyer from SimTV. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, what's going on inside that car, man? We thought this race would probably go a bit better for you. You're up front, but just slipping backwards. Not liking the car, not liking the package. What's the situation?
The car's driving like a tank, and I honestly don't know. Like, I even got out of the car to look at the crossway, and it's almost 70%, and I'm thinking, is this a bug with Camaros? Am I just an idiot? Like, I don't know, because I can't get the car to turn.
Is there anything you can do strategy-wise to get yourself back up there? Is no tires or 2 tires an option, you think?
I might consider it if I don't feel like I'm in the way too much, because can't really do much with the car, it feels like.
All right, we'll let you get on back there, and good luck trying to figure it out. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Interesting there, Vinny. Noting that the cross weight on the setup was really weird and off, and I mean, maybe just to get these things to turn, that's what they're using, but clearly not Tim Silliman's go-to setup there. I think.
Yeah,
sure.
I think he's one of the drivers that's struggling with this newer package compared to other drivers in the field. Like we've been seeing that some are struggling with it, some are excelling on it.
Yeah, well, again, it's the older package, the low downforce rewarded 100% driver skill. I mean, you had to wheel those things, especially at a track like this. They weren't super aero sensitive in terms of following another car. You could follow in line a little bit better, a lot faster down the straightaways, required more throttle control. And we also saw, we typically see Tim Silman also doing really well at short track races, and where you have to handle that power and work with that throttle control. But just tonight, it's almost like a super speedway race with braking, and I don't think that's really Silliman's favorite thing to do, and just hurting his performance so far tonight. Nick Cohan, though, I'm watching this 21 car, been creeping up the order. He's going to be restarting in 3rd here in a second, finishing as highest up as he's been all night.
Yeah, indeed. And Bresty now back in 4th. We'll be seeing him have some great pace. So new names up towards the front here and ready to fight for the lead. So it should be interesting when the green flag comes back out.
Keep a mental note on the number 9 car of Thomas George. 2-tire stop here Now we're really going to get to see a guy that is up farther up the front if he can hang on to this with guys on 4 tires behind him. I'm very curious to see how that's going to work out. Rick Thompson all the way back at 18th after almost crashing earlier, so good recovery for him. Where is Scott Eckridge? Up to 9th. We'll watch that blue car try to bring its way up towards the front. He's been working after that pit stop mishap back on lap 10. Been about 34 laps since that incident. Pace car is going to roll off. Going to restart with 36 laps to go. And green flag's back in the air, and Tabarro leads him back down to the green.
Yeah, he got a solid start. Now we've seen Cohen be the guy to dive out, build up a big run here into turn 1. Does he do the same on Thomas George?
Don't think he's going to have a big enough run this time, but there's Woody Mahan popping out of line. The number 8 car on Norm Pelletier down into turn number 1. Door to door for a moment. There is a 0-5 and Derek Paulson just up the road. Now we got some side-by-side action. There's Jeff Ward, Zach Buchanan. And now look at Cohan. He's under attack from Bresci, but trying to get the spot away from the 9 at Thomas George. That's for second place down into the tunnel turn.
Yeah, and I think George is going to be forced out of line here. Here comes Cohan and Bresci. They're going to have the run in turn 3.
And Bresci is just leaning on the rear bumper of that 21, trying to push him past, and maybe McQuistion. They're all teaming up on the 9 car as they go through in turn 3.
Yeah, they're trying to force him out of the line here and build up a run. There you see Bresci able to clear the 9. Here comes McQuistion now. I don't think he'll be able to get the run off the corner. He's going to have to fall in line. But now here comes Bresci now looking like Cohan for second place.
Field fans out on the front straightaway, but that battle for second is raging down into turn 1. The 24 might get this spot away, but can the 21 hang on? They're going to drive in right at the door. Slipping does the 21, but the 24 might get the spot away. Can the 21 hang on? Not quite.
Yeah, and I think that shifting that Bresci's doing, there's 3 wide now for 4th place. Who's going to win this fight, but I think that the shifting he's doing is really helping the car rotate compared to his competitors. Now Bresci on the outside in turn 2, I think he'll get a good enough run here. I don't think Cohen's going to be able to stick with him.
Yeah, and Tabarro is driven out to a 1-second lead, but look at Thomas George. Remember, we were wondering if those 2 tires would work. Doesn't seem to be. I know he got pushed out of line, but he's just being absolutely run over from behind. Look at Eckridge on the inside of the question now. Remember, he started in 9th. He's up to 7th and trying to get 6th, 5th, and 4th away from this group of drivers.
And while Bresci and Cohen were working around the 9, they lost a second to Tabarro. He's in the lead, clear of that, so they're going to have to spend some time trying to catch back up. But here comes McQuistion out to the inside of Thomas George. Scott Eckridge up in the 6th. How about him?
Yeah, he's just been flying. And again, it's been slow progress, but methodical. And now he's looking to the outside of 93. Interesting lane choice here. He probably had time to swing to the bottom, but he's going to stay to the outside. See if he can make this work as we get down to the tunnel turn.
Yeah, smart. I think he's trying to work with the draft here, getting the draft off of Thomas George. And there you see Zach Buchanan also trying to make him some spots.
Yeah, Buchanan slipped back in the pit stop sequences. He was running as high as 3rd earlier. Now back to 7th where he started the night. Bresci is into the lead just a tick. It's now 0.8 of a second as they make their way off of turn 3, but out of drafting range. Now Eckridge is all over the back of Travis McQuistion as they work their way down the straight. But here comes Buchanan trying to make a pass on Eckridge. That's not something you just do, but he's going to give it a shot.
He's going to give it a look here, but does he have enough momentum to make it?
I don't think so. Boy. Slip, but the 70 car is going to get turned for a second, but he saves it. Incredible job. Here comes the 89 trying to go up the middle. There's some damage to the left rear quarter panel.
Oh, here comes Yazek with a big run. That's going to help him.
Everyone teaming up on the 70 as they work their way down the back straight.
Yeah, how about Yazek? He's going to get 1, 2, maybe even 3 spots here on one straightaway.
Yeah, 3 spots for the 55. He can get around the 40. Not quite.
Ooh,
everyone's getting jammed up behind now. And you see all the momentum lost and how much longer it takes somebody to get back up to speed after this. He slipped a half a lap ago. He's still losing spots. Up the road. Pushing all over George, but they couldn't get it done. Car on the fence. I think that was the 89 of Jeff Ward.
Yeah, I think so too.
Now Timothy Johnson in this group, making their way down the front straight, all tight and wrapped. There's Gil Brooks in the 71. I think Brooks was on 2 tires. Yes, 71 is on 2 tires as well, but going forward. Tight group of cars here, Vinny. Lots of opportunity for incident, but Eckridge has that car pointed back in the right direction. Let's gain some spots back now after losing them. Lost 3, about a half a lap.
Yeah, indeed, he's now going to have to try to make up for what happened. And I was the way I saw Buchanan into the corner, I only thought it could end up badly, and he clipped Eckridge, and almost around he went, but great save by the 70 to keep it green.
That's a big wiggle in a high-load corner. That's difficult to save a car there when you have so much force on the right side tires and so much energy trying to change direction. He got it and figured it out. Look at that. There's the 56 and the 8 car at the back of the screen there, kind of duking and diving. Beckrich in line.
And Beckrich now trying to find his way around Jeff Ward.
Downshift there for the 70 car. He's going to get a run on the 89. He'll follow it down. We'll see if he goes to the inside of the 55.
That downshift really helps with these guys entering the corner. They're really able to corner a lot better than their competitors, and I think that's where we've been seeing Beckrich making up all that time.
While we have a spare moment, let's do a SimTV sound surge. Turning here at the Tricky Triangle. It's been 52 of 80 laps here for the CJAutoPA 200 at Pocono. For the lead, though, Finian, Bresci has chased down DeBarro, and he might have an opportunity to take it away on the front straight here.
Yeah, we've seen Bresci really strong in turn 1 due to downshifting, and DeBarro going defensive.
Whoa! That was got the 24 out wide down into turn 1, but maybe it's going to let the 24 arc it better here. Going to be a pass for the lead potentially. The first one we've seen under green flag conditions all night.
Oh, he's going to have a huge run heading to turn 2. What does DeBarro do in defense?
Nothing. The 24 is going to get there. There's a block for a moment. Push by the 24. Wow, great action up front. Less than 30 to go. And Nick Cohan has caught this group as well.
Yeah, and Bresci's in a teammate sandwich at 21-27 working together, so he's surrounded by enemies right now.
Bresci's, I mean, he was a second back. He's caught a second in just a couple laps. I think the 24 is a lot quicker, and he's quicker by enough that he might be able to make this pass. But here's a battle. There's a 55 and 93. This is going to be for 7th place, and you see Scott Eckers just up the road. Back up to 6th. Remember the contact between him and Zach Buchanan a couple laps ago. I wonder if there's some hard feelings there.
Yeah, we'll find out here. I doubt. I don't think he's going to take it too hard.
I don't think so either. Always potential. Never know.
Yeah, you see these guys. They're Thomas George. Remember, took 2 tires. They're stuck behind them, but he's lost 4 seconds to Nick Cohan, and these guys just aren't able to get around him.
Yeah, but that's just the thing. He restarted 2nd. He's only 4th right now, so he hasn't really lost a lot of position. So someone might be able to throw that later in the race. Now Eckridge down to the inside of Buchanan. He should be able to get the spot away in turn number 8, but no, the 40 is going to swing to the inside and maybe get a spot of the 9 car instead. Watch that. 89, is that the 89? No, it's Rich Jett in 77 that was out of the groove in turn. Drag race down the front straight, 40 versus 9. Who's going to win this one?
Indeed, who's going to win this one as they head off now into turn 1. Buchanan is really charging the corner.
We're the lead side by side here, Finian. And the 24 is going to get this run. He's almost clear of the 27, but I think he'll have this spot.
It's gonna depend here. Navarro's got a big run on the outside. Is he gonna pinch?
Nope, not going to be enough grip. And pass for the lead. Thomas Bressy out front now. Nick Cohan in third place. He's going to push the 27. Maybe they'll try to get this spot back to the inside. Navarro's going to return the favor, but don't think he's going to have a good enough run.
The teammates working together. The 21 giving a push to the 27 into the corners. And now Bressy's going to have his hands full trying to keep these two cars at bay.
They're side by side now. They're fighting. I think Navarro has lost something in the handling that race car. The 21's going to take that spot away. There's an absolute dogfight going on behind him as well. There's that fight, and it looks like Cohen's all but won that. Here's the battle for fourth that we're watching. Ekrich has got it, but behind him, Yazik and Buchanan drag racing down the front straight.
Yeah, indeed. And I see Thomas George falling back into 7th place. Here comes Buchanan on the outside of Yazik.
Up front again, though, Finney, and here comes Cohen to the inside now. Battles all over the racetrack here at lap 56.
Oh, and Cohen might have him here.
24 not able to hold that lane. Nick Cohan takes the lead away, but not clear just yet.
Yeah, he's not clear just yet. He's clear now.
This has got to be so frustrating for Thomas Bressy being teamed up on like this, but this is the advantage of having teammates that Bressy doesn't have around him right now. Now they're going to start weaving down the straightaway. I think the 24s have a good enough run to take a look. He hit that wall of air when he takes a look to the inside, blocked by the 21. Not close enough. The 24 going to get that run, but he gets shut off as they get down to turn 1. Now side by side for the lead.
And I don't think Bressy's going to be too happy with that.
That was, I mean, the 21 almost crashed himself there. That was close enough to be a crash. 21's going to go defensive down the back straight here. Look at this fighting up front.
Yeah, they're fighting aggressively here because they know how hard it is to pass. Here comes the Barno to the inside.
I don't think Bressy wants to give this up. Almost contact there, but somehow they don't make contact. Cohan up in front by 0.2 of a second. Now, in the battle behind him, they've kind of sorted each other out, but they're all on a freight train here. This group up front, I don't think we're quite done with this yet. I think Bressy is a tick quicker, but Cohan might be just a little bit faster than the 24 even still.
Yeah, I think Bressy's going to have to time this out again if we go all the way to the end, and I'm not entirely sure they can make it to the end on fuel.
Gone 16 laps. I don't think you're going to the end on fuel.
So, but if not, Bressy, I think he's going to have to kind of sit behind Cohen and just kind of wait it out, because I think if he tries to take the lead back again, Navarro and Cohen are just going to hook back up and work together.
Silliman back on track 1 lap down, struggling with that car, continuing to have a bad night. This group, I'm amazed that they're able to run this close together and not have big aero push issues, or they are, and they're just slowing themselves way down. They're running almost as quick as the leaders. There's Zach Buchanan back up to 6, so he's been able to climb back a spot or 2, but not quite as high as he was earlier in the night.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not enjoying that too much. But Scott Eckridge up into 4th place, so he's effectively recovered most of what he lost. So now he's got to chase down the leaders.
Running quicker than 2nd and 3rd, not quicker than Cohan, though, who is the quickest car on the track at the moment. Greg Evans, not on pit lane, maybe potentially just final stop for the night with 21 to go, 22 to go.
Yeah, I think this is him. I think that's what we saw Silman. I think they're coming in early, trying to take advantage of the fact we are actually approaching halfway through this run. Because we saw they were on 16, now 17 laps, and we're at 20 to go. So I think that's what we're starting to see.
Don't know if the undercut's going to be worth a whole lot tonight, though. Those tires don't seem to mean a whole lot of contact. That's Jeff Ford sideways. The 44 knocked him loose in turn 2.
Yeah, Hensley now trying to get a run here.
Wow, that was a close one. We got to take a look at that one real quick as soon as we determine that these guys are not going to take each other out. Because it looked like they were for a second. 9 and 77. All right, let's quickly jump back a couple corners. Take a look. Oh, yeah, he got hit. Oh, I was looking at the wrong car here. Another look from Tyler Hensley's car. Took a dive, not quite a lane there, but he forced one. Great save by the 89.
Also, look how dirty.
I was going to mention that. We've seen a lot of mess on these cars really get dirty after...
Yeah, Hensley's car looks gray. That's normally a white finish on the front of that nose. And even Timothy Johnson behind him, too, his hood is gray.
It's supposed to be silver on the splitter of the 77.
Yeah, going now off to a 1.5 second lead. Where did he find all this speed all of a sudden? He's completely checked out from the leaders.
Yeah, he found
something. The rest of them.
There's Bresci and DeBarro fighting for second still. Have not sorted it out. Here's a dogfight 3 wide down the front straight here. Another car down to pit lane is Brian Greenlee's 38. 3 wide up into turn 1. Don't like the looks of this. For second, though, nose to tail, I think we might see an opportunity for a pass here if 27 can take a run. Maybe he's just content running here, though.
Yeah, I'm curious on what he's going to do.
Nope. Let's answer that question quick.
Yeah, not going to be enough. He's going to have to tuck in behind Bresci again.
All right, 20 to go here at Pocono. Fuel run probably can make it from here. I don't know if the undercut's worth a whole lot, but we're going to see if anyone up front takes it. Cohan's not going to. We see Silliman trying to get his lap back. Tires are worth a little bit more than we think. Everyone's single filed out. Just riding in line, saving a bit of fuel. But Nick Cohen has just found another gear. 4/10ths quicker than second place last time through.
Yeah, I really am curious on where he found that speed, because that came out of absolutely nowhere, able to just break away from the rest of the cars, which is very hard to do.
I would say so.
And he's been running significantly faster, too.
Oh, heard someone downshift big time up front. Almost blew their motor out.
I think it was beginning.
Come on. Here's a look for the inside for second place. That's DeBarro. Alongside the 24 Exalta Chevrolet of Bresci. And here comes the 27 to pit road. I like the call here, Finian. Good timing.
Andy, and it looks like no one else is going to follow him down this lap.
I think the undercut's a good move. I think he'll get the spot away from Bresci. Don't know if it's going to mean a whole lot in terms of capturing a spot away from Nick Cohen, because he's just checked out. Another 4/10 quicker lap. 2.5 second lead. He has figured something out.
Yeah, he's completely found something. Also, Eckridge too has been one of the fastest cars on the track, and here he is blowing just by Bresci.
Absolutely blowing by. It looked like the 24 was stopped on the back straight.
And I think Bresci's probably worn out his tires. I think that's what we're starting to see the effects of, and that he's pulling up the pace. Meanwhile, guys like Eckridge and Gazik have saved theirs.
Hard to believe that Eckridge would be saving tires with all the climbing forward he's done, but I think now we'll see the 24 hit pit road.
Or not.
Nope. I don't know about this one, Finian.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm curious. Anyone else looks like
someone else peeled off there. I think it's Tyler Hensley's 44. He's going to bring the 89 of Jeff Ward with him, and add the 52 of Casey Shue. Interesting. Okay, strategy being played here in terms of when you're coming into your pit stops. Here's McQuistion and Timothy Johnson side by side, the twin Toyotas.
Yeah, Johnson's gonna win that battle. He's up into 10th place. So the only guys running sub 55 now are Zach Buchanan, Brian Yazik, Scott Eckridge, and Nick Cohen.
Speaking of Yazik, now he's come up through the field. He's charged forward. He's found some speed too.
Yeah, and I think this is definitely these guys saving on their tires. I don't think there's any way to get this speed, so much speed, on a relatively short amount of time. So it looks like they're going to continue out. I guess these guys are going to try to make it to the end here.
I mean, I don't know, Finny. If we take a look at the laps since pit, they'd have to go 30-something laps at Pocono. I just don't see that being... Maybe. Putting behind down to pit road in the number 8 car.
I feel like we would have seen if a lot of guys were going to come down. I feel like we would have seen that already.
You would think, because I wouldn't think... I mean, again, Bresci saved a lot of fuel last week at Monza. He saved too much fuel at Monza, actually. But so did Eckridge, and Eckridge is way up the road now. I mean, I would think pitting would be the move here. Get yourself some clean air to work with for a little bit, but they're trying to stretch it. Thomas George, Rick Thompson, they're all in a fight here. This is going to be for 6th place right now.
I see some guys down on the apron. I think we got the takers now. Buchanan's in, as well as Scott Eckridge.
Yeah, so at this point, if you're the 24, What's keeping that on track? I mean, you're losing time.
I feel like he's gonna try to make it to the end. I don't know how close they are or not, but I feel like that's the only reason he would be staying out there.
My gut's telling me that it's not even close. I mean, they didn't stretch it a while at Monza last week. Timothy Johnson and Norman Pelletier and Travis McQuistion. This is for position and for 7th place.
Here they are side by side into turn 2. McQuistion trying to work on the outside, got a draft of the 28, but here comes Pelletier to the inside.
Yeah, this is not going to work. You can't do side by side through the tunnel turn, it seems.
Or at least in the later part of the run, when the tires are fresh, you can. But even then, it's hard to do.
Thomas George and Rick Thompson has clawed his way back to the... to some extent, at least. 14 to go here at Pocono. Nick Cohan's led all the laps as of late. Previous lap leader was machine driven by... Well, why am I blanking right now? Anthony DeBarro was number 27, led a huge majority of the... actually led every lap until Nick Cohan stole the lead away a few moments ago. Now the 27 has come on down, decided to pit tires and fuel. He's running 17th at the moment. Let's compare lap times. The 27 is running 52.1s to Nick Cohan's 54.8 last time through. So that means that the 27 should easily have this lead. The question is, 21 have enough laps to get back to him after he pits?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the big question here. We are really starting to run out of laps here. The leader's going to come down 13 to go. And then still no day, because I have to feel these guys are going to try to stretch it out to the end here.
Down off into turn 1, only 180. Thomas George. Oh.
Ooh.
Clutching.
Yeah, so they're close.
Yeah, so they must be able to kind of make it.
Let's take a look at Yazek. I'm curious of what he's doing. Might not hear in the tunnel turn here. So let's hear it in turn 3.
Yeah, he's downshifting. He's not saving fuel doing that. Oh no, Presti.
No.
Same thing.
Let's go back to George. Right. Yeah,
he's really trying to stretch it. Wow, lots of different strategies, and Pocono's been known for being a strategic race. But in the past, the stage breaks in NASCAR have kind of changed that up. But tonight, seems like we really have a strategy race on our hands here.
Yeah, indeed. And the guy leading the cars who came into pit, DeBarro back in 17th. Everyone else ahead of him has stayed out and has yet to make a pit stop.
Cohan has a 4.5-second lead, but continues to run over 3 seconds off the pace of the guys that have come to pit road. How about Scott Eckridge, though? He and DeBarro are separated by 6 seconds, but Eckridge is running about a second quicker than DeBarro as well, so we have to keep an eye on the 70 leading the going here. Again, let's watch this off into turn 2. He's on relatively fresh tires. We're hearing that these guys might be almost flat out into turn 2. Oh, easily.
Yeah, and I think they're definitely flat out without the draft and being behind the cars. I think that's helping them out.
Thompson and Rich Jett. This is a battle for 5th. 11 laps to go now. Maybe the leader's hoping for a yellow too. Maybe Brian Yazek and Thomas Presti. That seems to be what they're hoping on if they're waiting this long to make a pit stop. Tyler Dulgor and Timothy Johnson for 8th place. Travis McQuistion just threw off the road for 7th, and Norm Pelletier back in 10th.
And Dulgor now looking to the inside. He's gonna be looking there. Here comes Pelletier with a big run. The 28 doesn't make a move.
Dulgor's gonna grab that 7th spot away from McQuistion. They work their way out of turn 3. 10 laps to go here at Pocono. Yazek has eaten into the lead of Nick Cohan. It's 3.8 seconds now. Let's take a look at the gap. So there is Brian Yazek, and there is Nick Cohan. We'll look from up above to give you an idea of how far it is. It's closing.
Yeah, it's a closing gap, but again, I'm curious on how these guys are doing on fuel.
Get another look. 29 laps. I mean, can they go 40 laps on fuel around here? That would be absurd to me.
Yeah, that would be, honestly. I mean, it doesn't look like Jacek or Cullen are saving, but we saw George saving, and they all came in at the same time, so, I don't know.
The 71 got on the apron in the tunnel turn, now cuts to the inside of Pelletier. This is for 10th. Ryan Jacek to pit road in the 55 from 2nd place.
He's gonna sort in there that spot. He's gonna, I feel like he's gonna lose quite a bit of time by pitting just like, as well as the other guys that pit late now too.
So where is DeBarro? He's still in 15th place, and DeBarro's really in a good spot. I mean, he's led a lot of laps, and all he's got to hope is that no one else can make it. Because if no one can make it, he's got this race by a huge margin. Eckrich is a significant ways behind, although Eckrich has been closing, and quickly.
Yeah, he's about 2 to 3 seconds behind DeBarro.
He's going to be weaving through these slower cars. That's Don Ronco Jr. and Brandon Minto, 00 and 25. Still almost flat out, and he is 6 laps into him. Eight to go. About 7 minutes of racing left. We're not sure what the strategy situation is. We know that it's probably close.
And do we know it's close? But we have no idea how everyone's doing on field. I'm interested in seeing what comes out of Thomas George in the 9, because we saw. I think he was one of the only guys we saw saving. I'm not sure about everyone else. Top 10.
We've had about 31 laps since our last caution, so this race has been green since the 4th yellow a little while ago. And I guess, looking back, Christopher Matthews is smart to pit, because if he hadn't, he would have been in real trouble. How dull these cars are. They're so dirty out here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Detton Thompson fighting for 3rd. And the driver we saw saving a lot of fuel was Thomas George, who's in 5th. You see there's Dulger going around him now.
Yeah, and again, I'm curious because we saw Dulger saving relatively early compared to probably most of the other guys here, so I'm curious on how he's going to stack up to everyone else.
Yeah, Nick Cohan just ran a 57-second lap. I mean, he's got to be saving big time to run a lap time that slow.
Go on, we're with him.
Right on board. We'll see if he clutches it.
Yep.
He's actually shutting the car off. Okay. He's really trying to make this fuel last. There's going to be 6 laps to go. Just about 15 miles left in the CJAutoPA 200. Nick Cohan has led most of the late stages of this race. 27 of Anthony DeBarro led the most laps early in it and came down pit road a little while ago. He's number 27 car down in 11th, but
yeah, and Bresci too ran a 57.7.
Yeah, now the problem is Bresci last week at Monza was in a similar fuel saving situation. He saved way too much fuel and finished way too far behind Scott Eckrich, so maybe he's got to be a little bit less careful today. And he's sitting okay in the standings. I think he could afford to maybe go for it a little bit. Maybe
Eckrich has gotten around DeBarro.
Ooh. So that throws DeBarro's race away, essentially, because these guys were on the same strategy. So DeBarro has some damage to the left front.
Yeah, something happening. Try to go back and see if we can find it.
We're going to quickly go back and see if we can find how this 27 got damaged.
Had to be recent.
It was on the front straightaway. Oh, they doored the 70. And trying to keep him behind, but Scott Eckrich is now the one sitting in the catbird seat if no one out front can make it. I have the hunch, though, with how much these guys have been able to save, they might have been able to save enough. 58.2. That's a minute lap around Pocono, Finian.
And where is Thomas George? He's running 56s right now. He's a ways back though. See, who's out of the guys? So Rich Jett, Rick Thompson, Dulger are all still pushing it. Pretty much everyone other than the top 2 guys, they're really starting to save now.
Yeah, the top 9 are trying to save fuel. Scott Eckrich is the first one on fresh tires and a full tank of fuel. He is back in position number 10. He's 14 seconds back. And right now he's running 54 threes to Nick Cohan's 58 twos. That's a 5-second difference with 5 to go. That's 25 seconds worth of time if they keep having to save that much. Vinny, he could get there if they continue to run this pace. So if they have to save this much for the rest of the race, Eckrich is just going to drive right around him.
Go ahead and start to pick back up the pace now below us, 57 lap.
Don't even know if that's going to matter. See Eckrich here. 4 to go. At this rate, Eckrich will catch, so I think Cohan's got to pick it up even more. The risk is he runs out of fuel and throws the whole thing away. Scott Eckrich has won 4 of the first 6 races of the season. He's dominated everything we've been to so far. Short track, road course, speedway. See if he can get the tricky triangle in his hands. We're about 3.5 minutes away from finding out who's going to win.
Yeah, he's about a straightaway away. I just saw Cohen turning off into turn 2 from when we were looking at Eckrich, so he's not too far behind now. Gap 10 seconds.
Still saving lots of fuel. It's got to be so close. I mean, if they're not going balls to the wall at this point, that's telling me they're really close on fuel. 3 laps to go. He's got to make it last about 10 miles, maybe a bit less.
Oh,
car on the fence! It's Rich Jett out of turn 3.
He's going to hit the pit wall. He's going to go in pit road, so caution won't come out.
That was
and
close,
Bressie, though, is down on pit road there.
Bressie out of fuel. He'll have to come on down. That's going to hurt his race for sure. Battle for second. Dulger and Johnston. Eckrich is now 8 seconds back. He's made up 7 seconds in 3 laps. 2 laps, actually.
It's going to be close here between these two. It's going to be really close.
Scott Eckrich, here he is. Let's ride on board. You see that orange car way off in the distance. He's going to have to make quick work of this group of cars.
He should be able to.
Gonna zoom to the inside of the 28. Now he's gonna take a look to the inside of the 88. Can't get there. 2 laps to go for leader Nick Cohan. 5 miles worth of racing left. The 21 of Nick Cohan is trying to stretch the fuel tank to its absolute limit. Last time through, Eckrich ran a 54.6 to Nick Cohan's 57.7. It's gonna be enough for Eckrich to get there if it continues at this pace.
Comes Eckrich now to the inside of Dulger. Dulger is going to be in third. There's Timothy Johnson. They're going to be duking it out for third, but now to Scott Eckrich. Does he have enough time?
It's 5 seconds. You see the gap there. Nick Cohan and Scott Eckrich separated by 4.4 seconds now. It's going to be game over for Cohan if he doesn't absolutely pick it up right now. 3.8 now. See that blue car in the mirror getting bigger and bigger.
Let's hear Cohan. Is he still clutching it? Because it depends on how much fuel he's got left.
He's still clutching. There's no way he can make this work. It's Eckrich's game to lose at this point. 2.7 seconds. It's going to be 2.5 miles left in this race. White flag waves for Nick Cohan. Can he make it around? Does he have enough fuel to outlast Scott Eckrich? Charging in the final lap here at Pocono.
Oh man, 58.3 Cohan. I think he's really close right now on fuel.
He's only doing 165 down the front straight here, Fade. 1.9 seconds. Eckrich is here. Can Cohan do anything to keep that 70 car out of
He's got to go. No, I think he's out of fuel.
He's out of fuel. Nick Cohan is out of fuel in the last lap. Here comes Eckrich to the outside. He'll take the lead away, and no one else is close. Timothy Johnson too far back to do anything about it, but Scott Eckrich has placed himself in perfect position to capture another victory this season. Absolute, incredible. Just how do you know how to do that, Finney? And Nick Cohan. That strategy call is not going to pay off. It's going to be a horrible end to the race for him. He's going to drop down. He might not even finish this race at this point. But out of turn number 3, Scott Eckrich. Doesn't matter where we go. Doesn't matter how you do it. But Scott Eckrich is going to be in victory lane for the 5th time this season out of 7 races.
Yeah, Timothy Johnson is going to do a great job. He's going to come home second. I believe he saved some fuel, as well as DeBarro, who should be coming. Yeah, there he is in third. Thomas George did a great job saving fuel. He's gonna come in fourth.
A great result for the 9 car, but where is the 9 or the 21 car? No way, he's not gonna.
I think he's still gonna be passed by cars here.
Yeah, and the 00 might come.
They're trying to help him.
I don't know if that's a legal move here, Finian, so he might not be able to. But Cohan, that's a huge disappointment. The gamble
25th, and I think he's still gonna lose a few more spots. Dulger and Greenlee and Pelletier.
He's gonna finish 28th. Norman Pelletier's coming here.
Wow.
And from winner to barely in the top 30.
Leader at the white flag.
And you got to feel for Cohan. I mean, victory lane has just been eluding
him.
And
there's Scott Eckrich right in front of him.
Eckrich coming back to the start-finish line. See all these cars trying to finish this race, but Scott Eckrich, it's a familiar sight to see. And right in front of Cohan, that's got to sting even more. But winning here again for the 5th time this season, obvious championship favorite. Can anyone stop Scott Eckrich?
So far this season, clearly not. I mean, win number 5 in just 7 races is absolutely incredible. It's an incredible win percentage this season. I think almost more impressive than Greg Evans last season.
And look at that burnout.
Oh, and Cohan
is
somehow able to
just gonna finish.
Yeah, and he's actually gonna finish ahead of Dulger, although that's not gonna matter too much because he's gonna finish 27th.
And Eckrich blew the motor, celebrating here at Pocono. But Timothy Johnson eked out a 2nd place after all that. Great result for him. Anthony DeBarro got all the way back to 3rd, so not all was lost for him. Jeff Ford comes home in 5th. Brooks in 7th. Brian Yazik in 6th. John Rodden gets a top 10 out of it. Greg Evans as well after being spun out. Wow, what a race. We're going to talk to the winner and a couple other drivers here in a couple minutes. Let's take a look at our results first, though, before we go. Again, Eckrich takes the victory, and the thing is, though, I mean, I don't think that was ever going to work. I told you earlier, there's no way you're going to go 40 laps on fuel at Pocono.
And just the way that those guys were saving, and I figured from the first 2 guys who came into the pits, as early as they were coming in, I figured that they knew that they were going to make it to the end. As you look down the rest of the order, wanted to note too, Christopher Matthews finished in 8th place.
Good result for him. Tyler Dulger also a disappointing finish in 28th. Don Runkle Jr. the 00 back in 26th. Pelletier, those Toyotas did not have a good result at the end of the day. And then we talked about Tim Silliman's issues. He's going to come home in 22nd, so not a good day for the 6th car in 2nd place in the standing, so you might lose a couple spots there. How about Zach Buchanan? 14th for him. Disappointing result for the 40. But again, a mixed bag of results due to that pit strategy, but stay with us. We'll be right back for interviews. Welcome back to the Tricky Triangle here now with Nick Cohan driving the number 21 car. Nick, the results are going to show 27th for you, but you were so close to getting a victory. And just walk us through the strategy there. Obviously didn't play out in your favor, but so close yet so far.
Nick, we tried to gamble on a little bit of strategy there, obviously, but you know, that's the thing about having a win and you're in the playoffs. I think if I had the, if I didn't have the win, I probably would have played the safe bet and come down pit road and got fuel like Scott and most of the rest of the field did. But I figured I might be able to save that, and I did pretty good. I got real close. I started sputtering right at the pit exit wall there after I got the white flag. So it was fun, though. I hope we put on a good show for you guys because it was a lot of fun. I had a feeling this was going to be a good race on restarts, even though we did single file. I think they were pretty exciting. And when we came out of the pits there after that caution, I realized how close we were on fuel. I immediately started saving. So hoping that I could make it, but just a little bit too short, Kyle.
All right, Nick, obviously we feel so bad for you. It was so close, but we'll see if you can get yourself into victory lane in the next couple weeks. Thanks for talking to us after a tough race. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Kyle. Just shout out to CJAutoPA for being on the car tonight. Sorry we couldn't put it in victory lane. Thanks for sponsoring the race. All my teammates at Disney Motorsports and PMS for working together tonight.
All right, have a great night, Nick. Thanks for chatting.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to Anthony DeBarro, drive the number 27 car. And Anthony, the result's not going to show how good you ran tonight. You led pretty much every lap in the first half or 3/4 of the race. Ended up losing a couple spots. Came down pit road, but a couple guys managed to squeeze ahead of you there. What would you have done differently to get yourself a victory here at Pocono?
I don't know. I'm trying to put the puzzle pieces together in my head right now because I saw Scott come off pit road and he was like 8.5 behind me, almost 9, I think it might have been. And all of a sudden I look, he's 2, and he's passing me. So I think I wasn't getting, when I was up behind other cars there towards the end, I wasn't getting the draft. So I think I might have hurt the engine on a downshift. I might have downshifted too soon. That's the only thing I can think of because the car really fell off. But I mean, to get back to third and all the stage points to pole and lead most laps, I mean, it's a really good points night for us. But I just got to get that monkey off my back and get one of these wins to fall my way one of these days.
Yeah, the strategy definitely mixed things up. But obviously, I mean, you're not looking at this as a regret, right? I mean, the third place is a great night for points and good momentum for the 27 team, right?
Yeah, but, you know, you lock yourself in with a win. And my luck this year, I've been in position to win probably 3 or 4 of them. And things haven't gone my way. And they're still not going my way. So maybe we're saving our luck for the fuel finals. So we'll see what happens. So having fun, though. And it's good to work with teammates, and it's fun. That was a good race overall, I thought, once we got that green flag around there.
All right, Anthony, thanks for talking to us, and good job on the third place. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Good job tonight, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Talk to Tim Johnson, who finished second tonight. And Tim, last time we were here at Pocono a season ago, crash in the closing laps. You said you hated this place. But tonight, a second place. Do you hate it a little bit less?
Yeah, I probably do. I got lucky there to have a green flag run the entire last run, and I was able to make it on gas. Right at the start finish, it started sputtering at the checkered flag, so I just barely made it.
How was the package tonight in terms of passing ability? It looked like it was tricky from up here, but what did you feel inside the race car behind a group of cars?
There was definitely some aero push behind cars, especially when you were behind a group of them, if a couple of them were racing. It was very difficult to pass. You almost had to wait for the tires to start to wear off a little bit to really get runs off, guys.
All right, Tim. Well, a second place result for you in that number 28 Toyota. Not a bad day. We'll see you next week. Congrats on the P2.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
And now we'll chat with him again. We're getting real used to talking to him up here in the booth. The driver to number 70, Scott Eckrich. Scott, 5th win on the season. It doesn't seem like it matters what track we go to or how the racing is. You come out up on top, but it was not easy. A setback in the pits puts you all the way towards the rear of the field. You somehow managed to battle your way back through. Strategy call, you won the race. Walk us through your night tonight.
Yeah, I thought we had a good, in that early run, I thought we had some speed, for Anthony, and got that first pit stop and proceeded to miss it every way possible. So then we just decided to come back in after that next short caution just so we'd have fresher tires and, hopefully work our way up to the field. That seemed to work pretty well for me and Brian Yazik. So we were marching up through there, and then we had a 16-second pit stop for an ice cream cone, I guess, and it got us back there again. And luckily, we got real good runs, had real good breaks for traffic and catching people at the right places on that final run, and got us close enough that we could make that strategy call happen there.
I asked a couple other drivers this same question, but how did you feel like the low power, high downforce package played out here, especially once you got on older tires and trying to pass your way through the field?
I guess that's a mixed bag, because I felt like I was really, really strong on the old package here, and I definitely am not as good as on this one as I was on the old one. But I mean, it's really, really tight, and that's not fun. But I didn't feel like the race was bad, so racing was really fun. Everybody kind of give and take, and we didn't have a bunch of cautions. So I guess I'm gonna give it a thumbs up due to that.
All right, Scott. Well, I mean, it's been a pleasure watching you dominate these races. It's going to be hard for you to lose one of them the next couple of weeks, but it's been a pleasure watching, and great strategy calls tonight. Thank you for chatting.
Thank you.
All right, that was Scott Eckert's winner here tonight, Finian. No surprises there, even though it came in a bit of a surprising way.
Yeah, indeed. Didn't expect him with 20 laps to go for him to be the winner, but turned out to be through some great strategy as well as some of the guys. We saw some guys be able to save some fuel. I think if Cohen was like Thomas George and started saving earlier, I think he would have. Because if you look at the delta between Eckrich and George, it was 5 seconds. And
Timothy Johnston stretched it, and George did, and Gale Brooks did, and John Rodden did.
And I think as they all started earlier, Cohen started very late, I think, with the saving. I think that's probably what killed him.
Yeah. DeBarro missed opportunity there. I mean, he said that he might have downshifted the car and hurt the engine a bit, and that's the danger we talked about when we were watching the 24 Bressie do the same thing. Missed opportunity or a good result after the strategy kind of mixed things up?
I think missed opportunity as far as the win's concerned, but definitely I don't think you can shake away from a third-place finish. It's, again, always solid to have a good points finish, and especially considering the fact that Eckert is sweeping with these wins away. It's also opportunity for these guys to qualify themselves into the playoffs, and the points are going to be important.
And the 24 of Thomas Bressie, I'm trying to actually find where he finished.
18th.
18th result for him. That's got to be a disappointment as well for the 24. Especially after such a good run at Monza a couple weeks ago. It looked like tonight would have been his night. He had the lead for a moment until Cohen had stolen it away. But that's going to be all for Pocono tonight. Next week, we head to the slick surface of Chicagoland, Finian. That's just putting on some good racing, but the new package, as always, is going to mix things up for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of an unknown there as well. I mean, we kind of know for more or less what to expect, but you never know what could be different at Chicago with this new package.
All right, that's going to do it for us here tonight from SimTV. My name is Kyle Heyer alongside Finny DeCuna. Next thing on SimTV is tomorrow night. We have Spec MX5 Sim Racing Challenge over on the Winding Road Magazine YouTube channel starting at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday night, it's going to be Scars Ferrari Challenge from Watkins Glen, New York. We'll see you tomorrow on Winding Road, and we'll see you Thursday at 8 p.m. from Watkins Glen. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.